TransByDef. Jenna here. It's Sunday lunchtime. I'm gonna try to get this topic done for next week. And the topic that was chosen was, how do you deal with fear when you first go out to do routine tasks such as grocery shopping or laundry or auto repair, fast food, that type of thing? I think that times have changed a lot. Not everywhere, but I think the general acceptance of us is been greatly improved because of the pioneers doing all the legwork out there and helping us. Ooh, it's sun got bright. I should put sunglasses on. At any rate, I think that things are improving. I came out in 2000. What was it? It was like 2002, I believe. I pretty much, I had been on hormones and everything, so my thinking was, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. And I really didn't care what anybody thought. Now, going out amongst a group of trans friends, because I belonged to an organization, and that was a support organization, and I kind of like that. If you don't pass that well, then then you really have to do the homework, I think, and learn to blend as best you can. I can say that, yeah, did I have fear? Yeah, I had fear. But, it was kind of like I had gotten to the point where I didn't care. I didn't care who stared. I didn't care about anything. And for the most part, I learned something really valuable when I was young from my mom. When I was a teenager, that if you kind of act like you own the place and really don't pay attention to anybody, nobody pays attention to you. And so I kind of just would go shopping and, especially clothes shopping and stuff. It was, I had not had FFS yet, and definitely didn't pass all the time. But for the most part, I found shopping and stuff, in Macy's and all the high-end stores, that people knew that, especially in the women's sections, they knew, even if they knew who you were, they knew that you were going to spend money. So I embraced that, and I found the rewards. Every once in a while, you'd get somebody that would do the double take, and I found that smiling and waving, saying hi, kind of stopped them from invading my private zone. But yeah, I had fear, but not fear that was going, debilitating, where I couldn't leave the house or anything. At first I didn't want people where I lived seeing me. And I kind of stayed out of the public light, except for, the fire service. I stayed out of the public light. But going food shopping and everything, when in Rome, don't stand out. So to deal with the fears of having to go about my daily routine, I made sure that if I was going to Kmart, I was dressed like a Kmart girl. Not the people at Kmart, obviously, but I dressed for the occasion. And I dressed age appropriate, and being, I'm 5'7", and I was kind of small. I've been, I'm small boned, and so that kind of helped quite a bit. And so I was able to blend a little bit better than somebody that's trans, that's say 6'2", 6'4". But I knew, going out knowing that this was going to be the rest of my life, It did have fear, but I didn't care. I mean, I was past the point of really caring anymore. Um, you know, that type of stuff, was kind of easy for me. Going into a male environment, to do something male in that kind of environment would kind of draw a little bit more attention to me. But I picked the places I was going to go and where I was going to be. And for the most part, I didn't have any real glaring problems. Anything for the most part, anything that I thought was driving my fears was basically me, and it wasn't really the people outside, because people outside really don't care. Yes, they're gonna stare, but I've gotten past that, and in time that all kind of went away. It got to the point, I'd been through FFS, and I had, was basically out in my community at that point, and there's days that women don't get all dolled up to go shopping. And so, there's days that I'll put my hair in a ponytail, put a baseball hat on, and a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, and no makeup. And that's kind of like where I am at this point today. The fear portion of it was basically something that I created. And really, when you come down to it, if you're not putting yourself in an environment where it's dangerous, no one really cares. I think the good news is that the younger generation is elevating us, and all the education that's going on has really done a good job to move us ahead. I know fear of coming out initially. I didn't want my kids seeing me. My younger, well, any of them really, but my youngest boy, he was my rainbow warrior, so he really wasn't an issue. But in the very early stages when I was still married, my ex asked for a little bit of restraint, and I acquiesced and met with her demands, and then I slowly just kept rolling things out. I was out for dinner with her last night, so things have changed. And I don't really have fears anymore. The fears that I have for going out today are the ones that every normal woman has. Rape, getting mugged someplace you don't belong. I listened to somebody the other day say that they even go out and deliver pizzas at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was just like, whoa, that's just asking for trouble. So today my fears are more about putting myself in positions where women shouldn't be, given whatever the location or what's going on. So I look at things differently that way. I don't really have a fear of going out. But those very early days, you just gotta put it out of your head and move forward, because you don't want to be a nervous wreck. And if you don't look comfortable, people will focus in on that. So if you're a plain Jane, no one's going to look at you, give you a second thought for the most part. But if you are, bumbling around and drawing attention to yourself, then people will pay attention. So, that's kind of my thoughts on this. It's been so long, it's kind of hard for me to remember what those fears were. Dressing room was fear. Using the women's bathroom. The first 5 days I was ever out dressed, I was with a friend at the time I transitioned with in Seattle. We went to this restaurant out by the university out there, and they were going, you gotta go in the women's bathroom, you gotta go in the women's bathroom. And I'm like, I don't know, I didn't want to. And eventually I walked past the bar, through the restaurant, and went to the bathroom and came back, and the world didn't end. So, you know, I just kept expanding that, but that I think was probably the really first big fear I had, and then going through airlines and stuff because of the ID stuff and that type of thing had me nervous. But you know, knowing that I was going forward and that I was ultimately going to have all the surgeries and go to the other side and live the rest of my life this way, I was, you know, pretty much forced to find a comfort level, and today I've achieved that. Like I said, a lot of times I'll put a ball cap on and some jeans and a t-shirt and no makeup, and I'll go shopping. And you know what? No one pays a second chance, gives me a second thought. So I guess if I was to suggest something, you know, to deal with your fears is go slowly, pick the places well. Try not to do, if you're a male, female, transsexual, you know, and spend your time in the women's areas, not the men's, when you do things. So that's my thoughts on this topic. I hope everybody has a great week, and I look forward to seeing you again. And if you get a chance, watch that movie with Michelle Headley, Boy Meets Girl, and or Girl Meets Boy, and I will look forward to seeing what other folks have to say. Peace. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.